Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about the law of diminishing marginal utility. So if you look at the definition of diminishing marginal utility, one of the most important definitions you will learn in microeconomics. So I took this definition from Alfred Marshall's book Economic Principles. Alfred Marshall is one of the best known economists, lived in 1840s. So in his book he explained marginal utility like this: the additional benefit a person derives from a given increase of his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So simple terms, if we use to explain what is law of diminishing marginal utility: consumers, when they consume more and more goods, what will happen to the satisfaction or the happiness they are taking from each unit? It's going to increase. So let's have a look at what is utility. If you look at a product's utility is ability to provide satisfying use or else enjoyment. So when we buy a book, we are expecting satisfaction from that product, knowledge or enjoyment we are getting by reading that book. So if you look at consumer side, utility is the satisfaction or happiness we receive when we consume a product. It can be a good or a service. So the law of diminishing marginal utility explains us what will happen to this happiness or satisfaction when we start consuming more and more goods. So next, let's have a look at this example I have taken. So here we are thinking of a student who is consuming ice creams. So if you look at the satisfaction he get by consuming the ice cream, so I have considered as total utility. So let's have a look at only the total utility column for this example. Now if you look at the first ice cream, the satisfaction he gains by consuming that product, I have given a numeric value 10. So he is happy. So his happiness I have ranked as number 10. So when he get his second ice cream, his total utility has gone to 16. So the first one 10, additionally 6 added to this utility. So that is because when he is consuming the second ice cream, more utility is gained. So how much is the additional utility from the second ice cream? 6. So you can calculate it. 16 minus 10, the additional utility is 6. When he start consuming third ice cream, probably now he doesn't have desire to eat ice cream, but he still wants to have one. So his total utility has gone to 20. So 20 minus 16 is 4. 4 is the additional enjoyment or happiness this consumer received by consuming third ice cream. So if you go to the fourth one, 22. So additional utility from the fourth ice cream, 22 minus 22. If you go to 5 ice creams, you can see the total utility is 23. So 23 minus 22, 1. So the additional utility from fifth ice cream is 1. When we moved on to the sixth ice cream, what has happened? Total utility didn't change. Why? Because this consumer did not receive any enjoyment or satisfaction by consuming this product. So what happens? The additional utility received is 0. So if you can go on like this, so keep on adding more and more ice creams. So when you keep on offering more and more ice creams to a student, what will happen to the additional utility the student gains from each ice cream is decreasing. So you can see the marginal utility is the additional utility the student gain from consuming one ice cream. So when you consume the first ice cream, it's 10. When you go to the second one, 6, 4, 2, 1, 0. So you can see when consumers consume more and more goods, what is happening to the additional utility they gain from consumption it's decreasing. So that is the diminishing. So this is actually explaining us the law of diminishing marginal utility. When consumers keep on stocking more products, what will happen? The additional benefit, satisfaction or enjoyment they get from an extra unit is decreasing. I'll take a graphical illustration for you to understand more about total utility and marginal utility. Right. So if you plot total utility against number of units, you can see this is how the total utility moves. So when you start the first one, total utility is at a level. Then the total utility will increase because when you start adding more and more goods for your consumption, total utility, the total satisfaction increase. And it will reach to a maximum utility. That is where you are done with this product. You don't need any more products. So it's just like you had enough ice creams, so you say no now. So at that point, what is happening to the total utility? After the maximum point, it will start to decline. So let's say you ate 5 ice creams and that is the maximum you can go, and after that you cannot eat single ice cream. Even somebody is offering you for free or with additional features or new flavors, you will not be able to consume it because you have reached your maximum utility. So this is how the total utility changes against number of units. If you look at marginal utility, how it changes with number of units. So you can see when you consume the first product, your marginal utility, the additional benefit you get from the first ice cream is at a higher level. But when you keep on adding more and more goods, when you're moving in your quantity axis, what is happening to your additional benefit from each unit? It's declining. So you can see it move into 0. After that it goes to minus as well. So this indicates after 0 you do not receive any enjoyment by consuming this product. So if we combine these two graphs, this is how it works. So you can see when we consume more and more goods, what is happening to our total utility? It will increase, but our marginal utility will decrease. So when our total utility comes to the maximum point, that is when our marginal utility reach 0. So remember, when our maximum utility is achieved, after that your marginal utility is going to be 0. So this graph, two graphs actually showing us the combination between maximum utility and marginal utility. What you can remember, maximum utility is when your marginal utility is 0. Now you must be thinking, can't we use a demand curve to explain the law of diminishing marginal utility? Actually, the law of diminishing marginal utility we use in practical scenarios like when we introduce progressive taxes, and as a business when we are observing customers' expenditure patterns. Also, very important situation where we use the law of diminishing marginal utility is when we explain the law of demand. So you can see I have taken an example, market for shirts. So price of a shirt and quantity of shirts sold. So you can see when the price of shirt is 50, the first consumer is buying the product. Now let's assume one consumer is buying a shirt for 50 rupees. Now the utility or the value of this product for him is 50. So when he moves to the second product, now he already has a product, already bought a shirt for his requirement, but he is going for the second shirt. Then the value of the second shirt is 40. So you can see the value he is paying for the second product of his consumption is decreasing. first shirt to second shirt you are moving, but the value you are receiving or the value you are paying for this second product is less than the value you paid for the first product. Now if you look at 30, what has happened? You can buy the third item, third shirt for 30. So by then you have 3 products in hand. So if you look at this graph, you can see the value for this customer. When he keep on buying more and more shirts, the value he gained from each shirt is decreasing. For the first shirt, it's 50. For the second shirt, it's 40. For the third shirt, it's 30. So this shows the law of diminishing marginal utility. When you consume the first shirt, when you buy the first shirt, your utility is at the highest level. But when you move into the second shirt, probably you don't need a second shirt. But still, you have money, or it's on discount, so you buy for 40. When you move to the 30, you are receiving this product almost 20 units less than the value of the first unit you received. So your demand curve can explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. Actually, your demand curve has downward slope. This downward slope is due to the law of diminishing